hola mi gente linda, bienvenidos a mi show de Magdeline Benitez. Aquí está a mi lado Antonio
Hola.
Mercado y Jay Rivera que forman parte del grupo Touch of Quality. Ellos son mis amiguitos por mucho tiempo y decidí entrevistarlos. I hope you like my show today, people. Thank you for tuning in to Magdalene Benitez YouTube channel. I have here with me Antonio Mercado and Jay Rivera from Touch of Quality. How are you guys?
I feel good.
Oh,
I feel really
Yeah.
good. Thank you for
I
having
don't know.
us
I thought you
here.
were gonna pass out there for a minute.
Yeah, no, doing well. Thank you for having us on. This is awesome.
Well, it feels good to be here, because we haven't done our morning show, this is like giving me flashback of all the craziness we used to
Well,
do.
good flashbacks.
Yeah, they were
Absolutely.
There were definitely some psycho
Good
ones.
times.
Which one? But
Oh my goodness. So I want to start to let the world know, how did you guys meet? How did this come about?
I'll let Jay start because he was the
no,
little
no,
kid
I'm really
that-
interested in your version because it's really funny, to be honest with you.
So, I remember Jay, you guys ever seen the Fraggle Rocks?
Oh, boy.
So all I saw was this little kid coming on the stairs with his head like this. I'm like, hey guys, how you doing?
That's
And I'm like,
not-
who's the little kid? He's so cute. That time he was cute. He's so cute. So I was like, and he was like, hi, I'm Jay. And I'm like, oh, hi Jay, how you doing?
That's not. Well, so first of all, we're gonna stop right there. 'Cause he's acting like I was like 5 years old. That'd make you a real creep if that was the case. 'Cause that's not how it was. And let's not forget that back in the days, he had a full head of hair too. So he wants to talk about the whole Fraggle Rock thing. He was rocking along as well too. So he had the locks flowing as well.
Oh
back then.
really? Oh my God. Nice. How cool is that?
Yeah, but no.
Personality, huh?
Yeah. But he was on the right path with it. He was actually friends with someone who lived downstairs from where I lived at, where I grew up in Hartford. And he would come over. The guy that lived downstairs from me used to cut my hair as well. So that's why he was talking about the whole hair thing. 'Cause I would go out there on the weekend and get my hair cut.
You were doing the Ricky Martin
Yeah.
when he first came out.
Yeah, so, but that's what it was back then, right? So everybody, I would go down for my haircut. He was over there hanging out with them, and they were working on music. And it was initially him and two other guys that were starting to make the music. And I was just there just playing video games, getting my hair cut.
Yeah.
So,
And-
yeah.
How did the name Touch of Quality come about?
That was him. So after getting together with the other guys and all that stuff and forming a group, we didn't have a name. But then it didn't work out with the other guys, so it ended up being Tony and I. And we actually started writing songs and writing music, and we didn't come up with a name until right after.
Wasn't it during Feeling Blue?
Yeah, so it was right after we recorded our first demo, our first trial demo. We was like, oh, we gotta have a name. And he always had this TOQ thing, and then he's the one that kind of came up with the whole Touch of Quality.
Cool. I always thought that was a special name.
I remember you telling
Yeah,
the
because
story.
it's like you at the moment you come up with a name for something and you don't even know why you came up with the name. Then years go by and you're like, oh, it is special. It has a meaning behind it. So.
But I like what you said to me
Yeah.
that day. That was really nice.
And I meant it. I think the name Touch of Quality, everything you guys work on and do, it's done with quality and with a meaning. And your guys are impacting a lot of people with your work. So keep on doing a good work.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And I have a few questions. I hope you don't mind.
Uh-oh.
What was the first song you guys came up with?
So the first song we came up with me and Jay was Feeling Blue.
Yeah,
Feeling Blue.
And it made me feel blue. But at that time, I was excited.
Yeah.
It
Do you
was
know
a
how it
song.
goes?
Yeah. So Feeling Blue. Feeling Blue was a 13-year-old song, a song written by a 13-year-old.
Okay.
Okay, so it was a song that just kind of, I had a few lines together. My first attempt at writing a song, we actually didn't even think we were going to do this. It was just, again, this was like right after the project that we originally were working on, which we can't even remember the name to. That was actually the first song. But it fell apart. We ended up at a studio, and I don't remember where we were at, but Javi was there. Javi threw together a beat,
And you
I
came up
started
with
singing
the lyrics, and I was like,
started
oh,
singing
I
the
kinda
lyrics
like this.
that I had, and then he jumped on, and we kind of just that was it. And
Yeah.
back then, you know, everything's on tape, so it was just like there was no not like
And
it
what
is
was
now.
the song about?
Well,
Into this feeling.
it was it was you know
Yeah.
real cheesy. You know, boy meets girl, boy
Aw,
loses girl,
how
boy wants
cute.
girl back.
I love
and,
those. Those were the
you know,
best. Yeah.
But it was real, you know. Again, but I released it in the album that I did in 2012, just to pay homage to what actually started me into the whole songwriting thing. So I kind of like did a remake of it just to kind of.
You know, a lot of funny you say that because I mentioned that in one of my projects I wanted to, you know, honor something, and anyways the person was not getting it, and it's nice to hear that I'm not alone on this.
Yeah, well, you know, there's things that, regardless of how great they are as far as, you know, standing alone by itself, there's meaning to it. So the song, I mean, it's not a you know a banger. It's not one of those club jumpers or whatever you say, but it's a song that had
But it was our
us.
start.
Right, it was our
your
start.
beginning.
Yeah, it was our beginning.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We actually performed that show.
We did.
Yeah,
We performed that
and
one song.
at a college. We
And
actually
the plug
were
got
invited.
pulled.
Yeah.
No, it really did. But it was
It was a mistake,
it was,
though.
the whole somebody tripped on the cord and the whole sound
boy.
system went down. That
Oh,
was pretty
no.
funny.
So that was funny. It was like, and all you heard in the background was me say, "Oh shit!"
Yeah,
Remember?
something-
Oop, beep. Sorry. So that's what you heard in the background because everything literally shut off completely.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But you know, like you said, it was our beginning.
That's
It was
right.
our start.
Yeah, at least your pants didn't fall off or something like that. Like Mike's.
No.
Remember what I told you guys that happened to me?
Yeah. No. Couldn't even imagine.
Oh my god. Okay. Who have you guys worked with in collaboration?
Quite a few actually, and recently there's been some more. But throughout the years, if you remember through the whole ZMR, the ZMR days, we had some projects there. We had, you know, oh my gosh,
Was it Vivid?
Vivid. There's a group of Vivid. Back then, obviously the fellas, and then we kind of went through the whole fellas project as well. Willie Valentine.
There's a song that I worked at CMR, and actually is in a musical or something like that. And for the life of me, I can't remember how it went. Carmen and I wrote it. Anyways, that's another conversation. Sorry.
Yeah, but yeah, you know, wrote a song with Willie Valentine.
Yeah.
Jasmine Dennis recently. We just
Oh,
finished
by
a
the way,
project with her.
congratulations on that. That song is phenomenal. I
You
love
did a
it.
great job as well.
You did a
great
awesome job
so,
on it, you know.
You know,
And that's what it is that, like you said, with the whole touch of quality, you know, that's what we are. We like to create a project, but it doesn't have to be us as the main singers. It could be whoever. And, you know, if someone has the ambition and the heart to do something and they want to do something, we're here for them. We're an open book, you know what I'm saying? We have our arms wide open and we're willing to help out whoever needs our help. And, you know, Jasmine came up to me and said, hey, I'm working on a song and I need help with it. And I said, okay, send it to me. We did the beat, and you did the arrangement, right? Part of the arrangements, or you did?
no, I did the backgrounds. I did the arrangements in the backgrounds, the background arrangements. The melody and everything was already set. It was, I mean, it was great.
It came out. And then your
What a great
vocals
song.
on it too.
Oh,
So it's
thank you so much.
it was like a little bit of everyone putting in their greatness, and it came out with such a beautiful song.
Yeah, that was a good song. It was
You
fun.
know, I was talking to you guys earlier about how we set an example, how if you really learn to respect each other, you can really work in collaboration, come out with something really, really good, but you just gotta be respectful, that's all.
Yeah, and that's all it is respecting, and everyone has a talent, certain talents. You know, I'd be the first to admit it, I can't hit every range. You know, my voice isn't as what it was before, and again, there's things that we all do differently, you know, and when I go into a project, especially when I'm working with someone else, I go into a project, I look into trying to pull the best out of that individual and finding how can I complement that. So if I listen to what they did, it's all right, what do I need to do? And sometimes I got to push myself to that limit to meet that level. You know, Jasmine has a powerful voice.
Wow, she certainly
And
does.
so finding the range and the sounds to complement that, putting those stacks together, those harmonies together, things that was a challenge, but it was fun, and that's what I love.
But that's your talent, and you know what I'm saying, and that's what Jay being in our group, during the whole entire time, that was what he was good at. He actually made sure he pushes us to do different things. We all had a talent in our group, and even going back then, we had lyrics. We collaborated with the lyrics. When it came to the melody, we collaborated with the melody. It was not someone saying this is the way it's going to go and that's it. That was not our way. And perfect example. Even when I came up as a solo artist, now he kills me in the studio. He'd be like, "Oh no, do that over because I know you can do better. Oh no, do it again."
That's what a good friend
correct
should do. And
I just like seeing him sweat.
But yeah, we definitely collaborate with a lot of people. We can go on here for a long time with all.
And there's a lot of projects that we're working on currently that we can't really talk about yet. But
okay.
This is a big year for us coming up. I think
Nice.
we've been working on a lot of things behind the scenes. Obviously, last year we had the show, so we had to put a lot of those things on the back burner. And so this was giving us some time to kind of play catch up. And I've been in the studio every week since the beginning of the year. I've been in the studio. I've been working on multiple projects. Javi's been pushing me. And yeah, I'm there every week. I mean, I finished recording a track this past week, and now we're going into the mixdown mode for all these things that we're doing. So, it's been very, very busy. We're still very active when it comes to
That's awesome.
everything that we're doing.
That's
so
awesome.
expect a lot
It's
of
more
things
now
to come
behind the scene right now.
Right.
We're working on a lot of things. We're working with other people. We're doing, like he said, and he didn't mention it, but he's also doing production. So
Really? Okay.
he's actually,
Nice.
working, and he's perfecting that skill. And it's actually sounding really, really good. And he gave us a taste before with Be My Summer Love, with Be My Summer Love, and it was great. So now, he's been branching out. He's been being very creative with some of his stuff. So you're gonna hear a lot more.
There's
of that.
always room for improvement, right?
Right. It's never going to be a perfect 10, right? There's no such thing, right? Because there is always room for improvement, and you always want to push myself.
I think I'm a perfect 9.
Yes, again, but you're 100% right there. And again, as to what he was saying, so yes, I started dabbling with production a little while ago, and there's some goals set for that too. So not only there's stuff for us coming out, there's stuff individual for me, individual for him. I'm also working on a compilation myself where I'll be producing the entire thing. So there's gonna be various artists involved in that.
Wow.
And that's not just freestyle. That's gonna just be a bunch of different things as well too. So,
Like even on that note, I'm also branching out and I'm doing some more EDM music. So
That's awesome.
I actually have
Why should
2
you limit
tracks.
yourself?
Yep.
I never understood that, especially in these time of days. She's a freestyle singer, or she's a salsa singer, or she's a classic. No, you do it.
Yeah.
singer. That's it.
You're a singer.
And if you can do it, if you can do
I mean, yeah.
different genres, then do it. Don't set yourself short.
I mean, if you know you cannot hit that note, please don't.
No, right?
Don't go
exactly.
there. But
To your limits. But even with that,
Absolutely.
if that's something you want to do, then work at it.
yeah, work at it and perfect it. Absolutely.
And if
I
you
wanna.
can't, you call her to do something else, or you call him over there to do something else. That's what I
Or
do.
Jasmine.
Or Jasmine.
Yep. I want to commend you guys quickly because, you guys, I'm proud of you guys for another reason because you guys have been working together for so many years. And that's not too common with groups, it's not common with friendship, never mind the groups in the music industry.
Right.
And, people just go their separate ways, misunderstanding, and you guys, here you are, still working together, understanding each other, respecting each other, working in collaboration, joining forces to come up with better things and new and improve you. I mean, that is just awesome. So I have to commend you guys for that.
Thank you. That was a hard journey, what I'm saying, dealing with Jay.
I don't know this is what he does.
But Jay sleeps with a pillow with my face on it, so he's like, "Hi, Tony."
You believe that?
Ay amor.
Okay. Definitely not.
Otra preguntita. De todos los artistas que ustedes conocen o han escuchado, ¿cuál es su artista preferido? Female or male, it doesn't matter. If it's
You
too
know,
many of them, you can say
Right.
3, instead of
So
1.
there's two that I actually, and there's a lot of reasonings to it. Okay, I have is J Lo, and Ricky Martin, and the reason why they both, of course, some Latino, you know what I'm saying, Puerto Rican, and they show this eagerness to do better, not only for themselves but also for the entire culture, and I love that. I love how they give back, to their community, and that's how I want to be. I want to make sure that, I know where I came from, and as life goes on, I want to make sure that I help others, and that's something that Ricky Martin does all the time, especially in
Yes,
Puerto
he
Rico
does.
with all the chaos that happened in Puerto Rico. He was there for for Puerto Rico.
He was
and,
deep
right.
in that whole
And
situation.
he made sure that, he made sure that justice was served. When it comes to J-Lo, the same thing. Okay, J-Lo is a strong woman that's eager to, take this industry and show people what a Puerto Rican woman is capable of doing. And she stands tall and strong. And I love that because she shows that culture again, saying, we can do the same thing just like everyone else. All we need to do is show love, and I love that. And that's where I say to myself, I idolize them because J-Lo, not only is she a singer, a performer, a dancer,
Actress.
an actress, but she's also a mother, and that's another job itself. And she shows how much she loves, everyone, and she loves her family. But not only that, she shows that love to her fans. She's there
Yes,
for
she
all of
does.
us. She represents who we are, and that's what I like to do as time goes by. So I idolize them because that's how I want to be. I want to make sure that I give back to my community.
You'll be a great mom.
I didn't say mom.
How about you, Jay?
So yeah,
You see what I have to deal with?
yeah. Oh my gosh, no. On a serious note, so my music appreciation goes again. There's many because I listen to such a broad field. I mean, you can go Frank Sinatra all the way up to Prince, Michael Jackson. Obviously in our genre, there's TKA, George Lamont and those who kind of paved the way in the beginning there. Mark Anthony, like there's a lot of different. Mark Anthony, when he came out with a pop album, to me,
yeah.
that was big. That was really big for me, and like one of those things where I looked at and I was like, wow, like the conversion there because it hit.
Yes, it did.
It hit. He wasn't known for pop, right? And when that came out, when that dropped, that was big, and that really propelled him and moved things forward for not just him but for a lot of Latinos. You know what I mean? And then you look at how everything is right now, with the music and the Latino music, the reggaeton and all those things that are coming up. It's so front forward now. So many people to pave the way for that.
Yeah.
It has paved the way for that. So there's so many people to be grateful for. But I have a mixed feel there. It's really, really hard just to kind of pinpoint one because there's so many different aspects
Right off the
that I
bat.
enjoy.
So I see that you're really have a passion for music and you're much broader. You have a much broader respect for different genres, right? But with that said, what would be one song that quickly pops in your head that you have to say that's one song that I just love?
It was Scars of Love.
Scars of
TK,
Love.
yeah.
Scars of Love, yeah.
And the only reason that was actually the first song that the first freestyle song that I fell in love with. Like, that's actually how I got to learn freestyle. It was my sister's, she was a freestyle freak, I guess, back then, as everybody else was, growing up. So she, my older sister, and
That's when Jay was dancing like the Backstreet Boys.
there was no Backstreet Boys at that point. Yeah, there was New Kids on the Block.
Oh yeah.
So,
New Kids on the
anyways,
Block.
but even them, right? So even them. But yeah, I would have to say "Scars of Love." It definitely. I was like, I like this sound, and that was the first song that I memorized all the words to.
Wow.
So that
How
was
about
like,
how about you?
That's so funny because even it's the same group, and I'm bringing it up because it's Louder Than Love.
Oh
Love
my
is
God.
It was one of my favorite songs.
Yes.
"Louder Than Love" is amazing.
And
That song hits on so many different levels, though.
Yeah.
So there's so much. Even if you listen to the music instrumentally,
Yeah, exactly.
It's
That's what I
emotional.
mean. It hits in so many different
Yeah,
levels.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah, that's
Great song.
There's absolutely.
And so, morning coffee. What's going on with that?
Good morning.
Of course, he couldn't go through an interview without doing that, huh?
No.
So Morning Coffee season 2, it's in the works.
Okay.
There's again, we shelved it to finish all the stuff that we put on the back. We actually and we didn't realize it was going to get this busy. So when we first started that show, it really wasn't something we were kind of going to go all out with. But the feedback was so great right from the beginning. We decided to do a full season, and it picked up a lot more than what we expected. But we quickly realized we have so much work to do. Like there was work that because we had a plan at the beginning of the year, and and we didn't want to just stop the show and just like, okay, that's it, because it was way too much momentum. And we just every week we got better and better and better, and that was the first time we've done it.
Funnier and funnier.
But it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. There's a lot of work behind the scenes. There's a lot. I mean, that was literally we're working full-time jobs outside of here, and that itself was another 40 hours just to kind of put that show together.
Wow.
And just at the minimum, 40 hours.
And he's not lying. There was days that
Really?
And
Jay and I
up
were
all night,
basically
2,
up
3
all
o'clock in
night,
the morning.
trying to finish up.
I had no idea.
No, it literally, and we're talking like on the Friday night before the show, we're literally wrapping things up, finalizing things. And again, I don't regret it because I love it. And here's the thing about Morning Coffee. When we were done, after the season was done, I had such a sense of accomplishment. I was like, wow, we just did that. Like wrapping up 26 episodes.
Really? That many?
26 episodes.
And
speaking to all the
ended.
people, and then and finish with the final finale, right? With the season finale, the way we did was, I'm just getting goosebumps thinking about it because I get so excited about. I was like, we did that. We did that. No one can take that away from us, right? So
That's
when you
right.
accomplish something like that, it's just like it's right there. And I'm like, all right, I want to feel like this all the time, but we got a lot of work to do.
But it's like,
So-
it's funny that, like he said, because I went back not too long ago and I was looking at the first 2 shows that we had, and I look at the last show that was a 2-hour show, you know what I'm saying, with Judy Torres and all these other artists that
great.
actually contribute. You were one of them, and the feedback and the response and then the quality, everything that we learned from day one all the way to that last day, it, like Jay said, was such a form of accomplishment. But when you also look at the views and people that listen to it and the podcasts and the comments, we went from starting a show and only having a few people watching us, you know what I'm saying, to ending the show and just on YouTube alone having, I think it was like 1,800 people that actually viewed it, and then on the podcast too, it was even more. So it was like, wow, a few thousand people, listen to us, and I felt good knowing that I had just an audience in front of me. I was like, oh, these people, they're coming in and they're watching us, and and it was fun, it was exciting. But getting to that level and knowing how impactful the show was, and right now, even till this day, I actually, someone asked me today, oh, when is the show coming back out, But it was like, that's how impactful it was to certain individuals that they actually were asking us still that they want more. And we did a happy birthday video for someone, and they put it on, and everybody could say, this is what we're missing. We need you guys back. Hurry up and get back. Because we did this funny video. I don't know if you had the chance to see it, but hope maybe one day you will. And it was hilarious. And it felt good doing that video because it brought me back to, wow, what we're good at. You know what I'm saying? And it was just, it felt good knowing that we were giving someone a treat of that morning coffee of what we did. Because that's what it is. It really was. Basically, that whole format was the morning coffee format.
And it was fun. Working with Tony is fun. It's not, it's not difficult. It's not, we have difficult moments. There's difficult moments, and we'll all of a sudden the microphone's not working 5 minutes before the show's about to start, and we're kind of going crazy. You'll go through those type of things, right? But we handle things, and the way we handle things, you're gonna butt heads, you're gonna do this, but we work through everything, and it's easy. We get on set.
Sure, they didn't want to pay at all. Remember we were playing.
We had quite some issues, but once we get on scene, once we get on set, once we start working, it's just natural. It's like you mentioned, we've known each other for so long. It's just been.
It's funny because it's like a
30 years. 30 years?
It's a brother, and you know where to push the buttons for the good, where to push the buttons for the bad. So I know how to get in under his skin. I know how to piss him off sometimes, and vice versa, because he knows how to piss me off. He knows the right things to say, and it's funny because Jay will be smooth about his approach, and he knows that he got me. I'm not. I'm very loud and open, and direct. So I make sure I make a whole a whole scene. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I want to do.
Yeah, I'm pretty subtle to the point where only he.
Then only I would catch it, and
he's like,
oh my goodness. Well, you guys, I have to say the morning coffee, I looked forward to it. I mean, the previews, announcing the next show, and the comedy behind it and the humor behind it, it just made my day. I freaking love it. So I am excited about your second session. I can't wait to come. So good luck with that.
Thank you.
Is there any artist you guys would love to work with, or producer?
I mean, there's a long list on that too. I mean, I would love to actually. It'd be really nice if you want to say, everyone who's being able to like touch something. George Lamont, K7, Judy. Like, of course, right? Everyone kind of has those type of things, but reality behind that you never really know. But if there's ever a real opportunity to kind of work with, like, there's a few people that's on that list that we're actually going to be working with. So I'm not going to mention those yet.
Okay.
We'll just see how
Surprise.
when those come out, but. It'd be really nice to kind of do something, or even if it's just, it doesn't even have to be like an actual production, but just like you said, maybe write a song or do something with, George Anthony. I like some of his stuff there. Just a lot of other people too. It's just hard because I would really like to work with a lot of other different people. We've always been just in like a small circle.
But the genre is a small
Yeah,
circle.
the genre is a
circle, but we, there's a lot of
things we've been starting to branch out a whole lot more because of the show and some of the things that we've been doing. So, but like getting to work with Jasmine, to me that was fun. I really thought that was one person I was like, oh, I'd like to do that with, right? So getting that one, that's on the list, right?
Yeah.
And we'll see what else comes up. But
How about you?
Me?
Who would you like to work with?
There is actually one person that I would like to write a song for, and hopefully, there's actually multiple people. But there's one person that actually came to my head not too long ago, and that was Brenda K-Star.
Oh my goodness! Yeah,
So Brenda K-Star, if you're actually watching this, I would love to write a song for you. But that's somebody that I admire back in the days, and I still admire her till this day, and that's someone that I want to write a song for.
Great singer.
Yeah, definitely.
So I was going to ask, how have the fans reacted to your music? But that's just obvious. They love you guys.
Thank you.
I mean, no.
Yeah, we've been
not
getting
a
a lot.
question.
I have to say, last year especially, we got so much love, and a lot of it was because of the show. And the show ended the season, and I was like, oh, what's gonna happen when I release my new song? But I also started receiving that same love again, and it felt good because I was like, oh, it's not just because of the show that they love us also for our music, so it felt really good because I've been getting a lot of support with the CD. I decided to release 2 CDs, and they've been selling. We actually had our t-shirts, the Touch of Quality t-shirt, and those are doing well too. So thank you everyone for the support and love that you've been giving us. And it's just a response. I get messages here and there once in a while, and some of them is about for me, and some of them they're asking questions about him. Some of them they're asking questions as a group, and I always respond to them because I know a lot what's going on in our circle,
Yeah.
So like when it comes to my music, I know when it's coming out, and I know Jay's coming out with music. So when people ask me, I'm like, get ready for his, and I'm already been telling people out there, another song is coming out, but it's going to be Jay, So it's something that, the love, I have to say, it's been overwhelming.
How wonderful. Wow. So people, you hear it? Let me just let you know, 2022, these guys got so much coming, so it's gonna be great. And my final question. I know you guys know Javi for a very long time. He's always behind the scenes. He won't do an interview, but we love you, Javi. Tell me a little bit about how it is working with him. Although I've worked with him too, but from your perspective.
So it's funny. I'm gonna tell you a little story
Because he's been in the picture for many years with you guys.
As long as we've been together,
Yeah.
we've said 30 years. Same with Javi.
Wow.
So I'm gonna tell you a trick that I did on him. Okay.
Oh boy.
So I call Javi one day and I go, Javi, I need you to do a mix for Touch of Quality. Okay. And he was like, what do you mean? I go, yeah, we're thinking of performing, but we didn't have a performance yet. We didn't even tell people we're gonna perform. I'm like, I need you to come up with a slamming ass mix. Make sure it's all, and I told him to do it. And this is when we were doing the show. Okay. Because like you said, Javi doesn't like to be interviewed. Javi doesn't like to be, he doesn't like to be the
focal point.
No, yeah. And so I was like, I know how I'm gonna get him to do a mix for the show. So I told him that, and of course, Javi is very loving, caring. If you need him, he's there for you. So I made it seem like we needed it right away, and he did the whole mix for us. And he goes, "Okay, here you go." He goes, "Where are you guys performing?" I go, "Oh no, I'll let you know. Don't worry." And I played it off. I went grabbed pictures of him. I put it on the flyer, and there he goes. Javi was in one of our shows without even knowing. He was actually the TFQ special, but he never knew about it because I was like, the only way I'm gonna be able to get him is by doing this, and he was like.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't at all. Because we have a group chat, right? And so the following morning, when somebody released the flyer, he posts. We get a message from Javi in the group chat, and he's like, "What the heck is this?" So the funny side of that story was, once he saw that that's what we were doing, and he was definitely honored. He was like, "You guys, he's like, well, let's just make this into a real mix then." He took the mix back because what he did was he did a show tape for us, and he was, let's just turn this into a real mix, and he went ahead and he redid it, and again, everything he touches is gold, right?
And and he made me. He said something to me, and he was like, the only reason why I didn't want to do it because I wanted it to be all about you and Jay.
Right. This is what
and he wants to give us all the credit, but it's not. It's
right.
But he is part of you guys.
Right. There you go.
There's no Touch of Quality without Javi, and that's one thing that that I'm going to say that right now, and I've said it 1,000 times. Right? He's always been. There's no Jay Rivera without Javi. After Touch of Quality, after I left, and I was out of music for a while, Javi continued to send me music. I was away. I wasn't even here when I was away in the army. He would continue to send me music. He would continue to. He's like, "Hey, write to this. Hey, what do you think about this?" Or he'll send me, something. Says, "What do you think about this? Are there any ideas for this?" I'm like, "Yeah," and we'll talk about stuff, backgrounds and things like that. So he kept me in the loop all the time, all the time. And when I came back, he was like, "Hey, I got this song. This one did. The beat was for I Believe." I ended up writing that song. We recorded that. That turned into an album, and it just went over. It just went from there. But Javi, having a session with Javi, when you go in there, he pulls the very best out of you. He will.
Gently.
Right, exactly. Like,
he's
and that's
not
the thing.
cursing at you.
No,
offending you.
Well, he might curse at him.
He's so soft-spoken.
But he definitely he knows what he hears. He's got an ear for music that is tremendous. He knows what he hears, and he has a way. He'll show his and he'll explain it and like, do like this or do this or try this, and he's actually who helped me to find a lot of the different ranges and a lot of the different touches that I have is from his input.
Yeah.
He's definitely top-notch person to work with. He's kind. biggest heart you can have. You know, he's, you know.
I wanted to add,
Definitely.
there's been times where I'm recording and he doesn't tell me, I don't like that. He just go, let's do that again.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do that again.
Okay.
I mean, Javi, we really love you. Please, guys, don't ever change. You guys are wonderful
Thank
together.
you. Thank you.
Keep up the good work and keep on growing. And you guys are an example to others and my motivation and you guys
Thank
inspire
you.
me
Thank you.
Thank
to
you.
to so much, and thank you for being there for me also and supporting me. And I really, really love you guys. Is there any message you want to send out there?
Any message? What I can say, one thing is, be yourself, be you, and don't let anyone else dictate who you should be. If you want to do something, go for it. And if you're not there, believe me, you'll learn from those mistakes and you'll learn what you need to do to correct it. But don't let one individual or whoever, you know what I'm saying, tear you apart, because you know what you want, go for it. Don't let, like I said, that path is there for you. You just have to find a way how to create it for yourself.
And you know, I follow up with that. And this is one of the things, this is exactly going to what I would say, is what I tell my kids all the time. What's meant for you will always be for you. You know, and that's something that I hold on to, you know, so just push forward, continue. If this is your path, it's your path. What's meant for you will always be for you. Just keep going with it, keep pushing forward, work hard. You dream big, but the work is even bigger. So just don't quit on your own dream.
Like I always say, manifest it and it'll happen. So just
Now
continue.
that's what you say when you like order pizza or something.
Yeah.
Stay humble, people, all right? Thank you for tuning in. Gracias por ver mi canal de YouTube. Mi nombre es Magdeline Benitez. Aquí les dejo con Antonio Mercado Jay Rivera.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Touch of
having
Quality,
us.
por favor, chequen su música. La música de ellos es fenomenal. Voy a dejarle mensajito para que vean los videos de ellos en el YouTube channel mío, así que estén pendientes.
Thank you.
Chao.
Ciao.